All right, just in the last hour, the city of Eldridge deciding it will take on the volunteer fire company as a city department. That meeting just wrapping up. Maddie Friends was at that meeting. The building is now closed, Maddie, but you are still in Eldridge. Tell us where the fire company is coming from here.
Yeah, John, these talks have been going on for a couple years now about the company being absorbed as a city department. A lot of that comes down to volunteer retention and recruitment and people getting burned out having to do all of this as volunteers. Now, those negotiations did sour last month. There were some disagreements about how much the company wanted, how much the city was willing to give, and how long these negotiations were taking. Everyone did come back to the table last week. The fire company kind of gave the city two options: either fund it at $766,000 for the first year, that includes some capital projects they were needing to do, and remain independent, or have the city take them over as a department. But a majority, I think all of the members, wanted the city to let them stay independent.
Is that they would potentially change level of service, they would consider selling assets to help fund the department, and all those things are very concerning to us as members. Let's make a decision, let's move forward, and that gives us the ability then to plan for the future structure and plan for recruitment efforts and things like that.
Now, Maddie, the city council did come to a decision. What does that look like and what work needs to be done?
Yeah, so this is a model that they've actually discussed more recently in the last year. The city will hire a chief with input from those volunteers in the company, but they'll also maintain a volunteer base. So they're not going to have a fully paid department. That the city will take over funding and budgeting for capital projects. They're going to prioritize finishing the living quarters upstairs. That will really help with their volunteer recruitment. And the city's going to form a transition team, including staff and volunteers, to really iron out those details.
I believe that the city managed department with a strong volunteer component is the best approach that balances professional leadership, accountability, long-term sustainability, and continued volunteer service.
We need to do this together for the citizens of Eldridge. And just give us a chance to work this through.
And Maddie, not quite a done deal. What happens next?
Yeah, so this department was formed under a city ordinance, so it still does need to be read 3 times at city council meetings. They're looking at the first meeting in September for this ordinance to go through. This isn't the decision that the fire company preferred, but they really wanted a decision tonight, and they finally have one. John, I'll send it back to you in the studio.
All right, Maddie Friends live for us in Eldridge with some late breaking news there. Maddie, thank you.